My brother Jack, how are we doing this morning?
Pretty good. So I'm calling you because I'm having an issue with, I guess, conflict resolution with my in-laws, and they come from a very different cultural background and have different behavior norms than the family I grew up with. So I'd like to get your perspective on it.
Very cool, man. Well, thanks for the trust there. So what two cultures are we bringing together here?
So I'm a white Midwestern guy, moved to Los Angeles, but, we're raised very kind of straight ahead, be direct, tell it like it is. And my wonderful wife and her family are from Korea. They've lived here for 20 years, so they're integrated into American culture, but they also carry, these norms where they don't directly approach conflict the same way that I do. Sure. And they have found that the way that I do it can be pretty abrasive.
There you go. I love
pretty harsh. Yeah.
Hey, so first off, I want to just high five you, brother, from Nashville to Los Angeles. Thank you for being a guy who loves his wife enough to try to go down the hospitality route instead of just being an egotistical, brash, idiotic husband. I applaud you, brother. And it's going to take more work, and it's going to take some compromise on your part and some reimagination and learning some new language. But, dude, good for you, man. If more people were like you, we would have less of the nonsense we've got these days. So good for you. All right, so give me a scenario where you want to learn how you can better address the situation.
Okay, sure. So the most recent one was that they come over to our house a lot. They sometimes stay pretty late, and it's past the kids' bedtime. We've got small kids, and I'd like to tell them that it's time to go. But if I say things like that, then they get offended and they don't want to come back and visit. And then my wife says, "Don't be that direct with them. just let me tell them instead." But to me, I feel like I need to step in when it's like 9:30 at night, and it's pretty late for the kids. So
will she not step in? Is she asking you to do something that you've seen her repeatedly not do, or does she have a way that she can do it more gracefully that lets her parents retain their dignity and their cultural respect, and still gets the meets everybody's needs, which is we gotta get those kids to bed?
All right. Well, she can do it with grace, but it has to kind of be a pre-planned thing. Okay. It can't be something in the moment where, gosh, we look at the clock and we realize, oh my gosh, it's 9 o'clock.
Right.
It has to be something where I talk with her ahead of time and say, okay, they're coming over. Great. Let's just tell them it's time to, go around 8 o'clock.
And so why don't we just do that? My wife has actually brought that to my life over the last few years, and it has been incredible. Now when we've got people coming over to the house, we just tell them, hey, we're wrapping up tonight at 7:30. We got to get the kids to bed. And everybody drops their shoulders. They're like, okay, cool. It's just a gift, right? Now, of course, there's the occasion when everybody runs past it and we're having some great conversation, everyone's laughing, carrying on, and suddenly it's 9:30 or 10. That happens, right? But it's rare. Especially it doesn't happen with in-laws. So do you not like pre-planning, or do you really at the root, you don't like not being able to say what you want to say in your own house?
Well, the latter's definitely part of it. And there's probably an ego thing there. And I think I like to be a planner, but I think it just takes me by surprise when, when they come and they don't just realize that it's time to leave, when it's like 9 o'clock. I guess.
What happens if you just start getting the kids ready for bed?
I kind of feel like that even would cause a conflict too. Like, whoa, what are you doing with the kids? Like, we're hanging out. I think that would even be considered as like, I'm not playing nice with the family.
Gotcha. So here's this may be the easiest call I've ever taken on this show. That's not true. There was one a few weeks ago that was super easy. It's just this simple. You can choose to default to hospitality and harmony in your home, which means being submissive to your in-laws' culture, to the way they communicate with one another, the way that they can retain dignity and respect in their home and in their marriage. Or you can say, this is my freaking house, I can do whatever I want. That's your two choices. If it's me, I'm going to do everything I can to be more respectful, which means in your situation, we're probably going to have to plan. We're probably going to have to be pretty dogmatic about saying, hey, we're done at 7 o'clock. We got to get those kids in bed. And then we're going to roll from there. I would also recommend having a regular tea time or coffee time or meal time with your father-in-law. Do y'all just go hang out, you two?
Okay.
Have y'all ever done that, Jack?
Oh, do we?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, yes. And we get along really great. Yeah, so that would be super fun for both of us.
So have you ever asked him to teach you about his culture? Have you ever asked him to say, hey, I'm so intrigued. Yeah. I love your daughter. I want to learn more about this. How do I say this? Or how does somebody express this? And give him an opportunity just to be the teacher? How does that go?
It goes really well. Yeah,
okay.
We get along really well. And I think he and I connect better than I connect with like the women in his family outside of my wife.
Sure.
I think just as guys and just we have sort of similar personalities. So yeah, I think the door's always open there to connect with him more.
Very cool. I think that'd go a long way. And one final question before I let you go. When you say, if you come in and say, hey, it's 9 o'clock, guys, I'm so sorry, but I got to get these kids to bed. And you grab the kids, you tell them to do the hugs and kisses, make the rounds, and then we're going to take them off to bed. And somebody, sounds like your mother-in-law, says, that's so offensive, we're never coming back here again. Like, this is embarrassing for us. We've overstayed our welcome. Now we feel ashamed. And we committed a hospitality violation, and I'm embarrassed. I'm not coming back. Do they actually come back?
It takes a few weeks, but they do. And yeah, but that conversation doesn't happen in the moment. It happens on group chat afterwards that I'm not on. So I hear about it from my wife. But yeah, so I kind of have to show that I'm sorry that I hurt their feelings a little bit, invite them over more. And then, usually in a few weeks, it usually gets better.
Gotcha. And so, yeah, I think letting your wife be the powerhouse grown woman that she is, and if she says, I can contribute to this communication and help honor my parents, that's awesome. And if you offline can begin to deepen your relationship with your father-in-law, if you could do it with your mother-in-law, if you just had regular, coffee with your mother-in-law once a month, once every few weeks, and slowly all continue to learn and grow and love each other. And then, you put your ego in a drawer when you're dealing with your in-laws. You be respectful and hospitable, and you just plan. Again, man, those seem like really small things to honor somebody. Those seem like really small things to continue to create family peace, right? And then you are free to raise your kids in combination with your wife as best y'all see fit. As best as y'all see fit. But honoring your in-laws is such a gift. And I know that's not me, bro. I know, man. I know people are listening to this being like, I wouldn't do that. I would tell them. Well, then you're an idiot. And Jack, you're a good human being, man. Good for you for trying to be hospitable. Man, you've made my whole day better, brother. And it started off not too great today, but you have turned it around for me, man. So I'm grateful for you.